Also wanted to ask you about this here, too, though, because you were a former press secretary at the White House, and I want to get your thoughts on this savage takedown from Karoline Leavitt to her predecessor, Karine Jean-Pierre, who is also, I believe, out there touting another book. Let's have a look at this.
Well, with all due respect to my predecessor, she is one of the main culprits of the greatest cover-up and scandal in American history. She took the podium every day and lied to the press about the incompetence of her boss. I'm very proud to work for the greatest president in history. I know Karine unfortunately worked for the most incompetent president in history, so I guess she has a reason to be bitter, but being bitter will not sell you books.
And Sean, Karine Jean-Pierre hasn't been doing a great job talking about this stuff because here she was being interviewed about her cover-up tactics when it came to the decline of President Biden.
When we talk about the mental acuity, and again, I take this very, very seriously. Yeah. I never saw anyone who wasn't there. I saw someone who was always engaged. I saw someone who understood policy, pushed us on the policy.
Always there. Sean, what do you make of that?
Well, that's a lie. But, you know, the reason and you know, the marketplace, James, is what really tells you whether or not people are buying it. I want to congratulate Karine Jean-Pierre for cracking the top 25,000 in book sales in her first 24 hours. I'm not kidding when I say that. Most people, I remember when my first book debuted, I think I was in the top, 15 books in the country. She's in the top 25,000. No one is buying the book. No one is buying the story. She is in a very tough place. Look, the worst part about her is she also claims she left the Democratic Party. I don't think she's sort of at an island right now trying to figure out if anybody will listen to her. I think I'm actually amazed that some of these news outlets have chosen to even have her on.
I mean, as a former press secretary, wouldn't it almost be better for her if she wanted to get that publicity to come clean and say, look, this guy was a mess. We all saw it.
Yeah, look, the excerpts that I've seen of her book right now, she's in a very weird spot because she had to pick which side, who she was going to try to get on her side. She attacks sort of a lot of the Biden establishment, claiming that they were going after her as a woman of color. Anita Dunn is one of those sort of people that she really points a finger at, and she talks about or leads. So I think she had to pick a side, James, and was like, okay, I'm going to make sure the president knows I have his back because everybody else is throwing him under the bus, including Kamala Harris. So I'll say that he did a good and just take pot shots at the senior staff. Look, the bottom line, like I said, the marketplace is showing that no one cares what she has to say. Never mind believes her. I think it was a cheap shot for her to really go after Karoline and call her a deplorable, which is what she was responding to in that clip that you played. She was not just a bad, she was probably the worst press secretary in history. She was unqualified for that position in every sense of the way. Jen Psaki lied about her qualifications for it. Those guys should just walk away. They should go get a teaching job at some liberal university in America and tell war stories. But the reality is, too, here's the other dirty secret that, no one will ask her. She talks about when she saw the president. I would challenge people to ask her a simple question. How often did you ever interact with President Biden during your tenure as press secretary? Because when I was press secretary for President Trump, I bet you before noon on any given day, I interacted with him probably 10 times. I have a feeling that she didn't interact with him 10 times in a given week.